I knew that you did lots of running and competed with running, but you said you were a what athlete?
International. So I mean, I represented Great Britain 21 times.
20. That is
Look at that.
extraordinary. No, I in my head you were just one of the like multiple marathon runners.
Right, we're live now.
Yeah, so I did things like Commonwealth Games, European Championships, World Championships, various,
Wow. In what sort of distances?
Everything from, well, mainly from half marathon, marathon, 50K and 100K, but I did do a couple of like cross countries and slightly shorter.
Wow. So, I mean, it's extraordinary.
Well, I was a bit notorious for running while heavily pregnant, both with Joseph and with the twins.
I mean, with the twins feels particularly impressive.
I think I hold world records for 3,000 meters and 1,500 meters at about 8.5 months pregnant with Joseph and at
Gosh.
about 7 months pregnant with the twins.
You run though. You still run to the synagogue on Saturdays.
Did I or do I?
No, you were at one time,
Oh yes, even while having it. Yeah, 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 yeah,
but
yeah,
now, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a subset of them, but some quite nice ones. There is a backdrop of my work Zoom, which always provides a topic of conversation.
Yes, it's a better conversation starter than, this is just
Oh, yours is very nice
the
too.
chaos of books.
Yeah.
Well, mine's changed so many times throughout pandemic and post-pandemic life because of having to make room for Theo.
Yeah.
Um, so it's you get so used to looking in a certain way, and like this is always behind me, and now it's how do I find space for my Shabbat candles? How are you, Roz?
You're on mute.
So I'm on the iPad. Oh, hi. I'm at my daughter-in-law's now.
Lovely.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. I had my headphones in, but I can't bear to wear them for Zoom. So yeah, I'm good. Thank you. It's been actually a really quiet week, which is wonderful.
I hope restful as well.
Uh, not sure about restful, but certainly quiet. Quiet is good. David hasn't had any falls or anything, so that's good.
That's wonderful.
And
Yeah.
thank you again, Daisy, for that recording. It is quite a difficult one, as you say. You haven't got the normal, you know, do 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 do.
Yeah. And there aren't that many ones which are particularly strange, but some of the combinations felt funny, and there are some portions where I can happily do it the whole thing without practicing, and just it's so easy to do from sight. And there were a couple of times in this where I was like, "Ooh," so I
No, I do
don't.
appreciate it. I think it
No
may
problem.
be unlikely that I will actually lane it. I'll see. I'm so busy, but when term ends and I finish my marking, I'll give it a go and see how it goes.
Um, it's yes, next week is my bat mitzvah parasha, which funnily enough, like really weird coincidence, was also the first portion that I ever laned.
Oh, happy
So I got
birthday
to
for
do,
yesterday.
pardon?
Happy birthday for
Oh, thank
yesterday.
you. It did make me chuckle when I was looking through Sidil Khadash, and we'll start in a minute, but in order to prep for the service, and I saw that the themed reading for this week is light, because my Hebrew name is Aura, meaning light. So I did feel a bit like, oh, that's my birthday present. Right, I'm going to share the screen now. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone who is here with us on Zoom and anyone who's watching on the live stream as well. It's really lovely to be with all of you as we come into Shabbat. And if anyone has candles that they would like to light, please join me. And if someone would be willing to read just the short introduction to lighting the candles and say the blessing, that would be wonderful.
I can do it.
Lovely.
All right, lighting the candles. I will make you a light to the nations, that my salvation may reach to the ends of the earth. As these candles remind us of past generations of our people who have sought to live up to that idea, so may we, in our day, strive to be a source of light to those about us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Let's start with Shalom Aleichem. I was going to say which you can find on page, and actually this really reveals a secret to my Siddur preferences, because in my head, Shalom Aleichem starts on page 104, which, as you can see, is the page it appears in forms of prayer. In Siddur Lev Chadash, you can find it on page 76, but of course it is on the screen in front of you. Please join me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boechem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu nila shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzeitechem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. And for our Shabbat psalm today, we're just going to sing this verse that comes from Psalm 97. As I was saying earlier, the theme for this week is light, because it's our Torah portion begins with the commandment for the Ner Tamid, for the eternal light. O Zarua la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. O Zarua la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. O Zaruach la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruach la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. O Zaruach la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. O Zaruach la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. O Zaruach la Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. We'll continue with Lechadodi. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, אורי שתדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לילה, 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 Baruch et Adonai, Hamavorach, Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamavorach. Leolam, leolam vaed. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah potech sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשברותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעבה יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. I'm just going to read this text again in English because I think so often we get to experience the beauty of the familiarity of our liturgical Hebrew, but we don't always stop in the text that we know how to read so well in Hebrew to think about what they mean, and this is a particularly beautiful one. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening fall. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadata, otanu lemadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu, uvkumeinu na'asiyah bechukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסור ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Me'olam, Me'olam va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלבתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני Elohechem. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, eternal one, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei v'leh Adonai ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. As we come to our text of Hashkavenu, I'm inviting you to share anyone who particularly needs the shelter of God's peace and love, for you to share their names. Feel free to either unmute yourselves and say them out loud or to share them with us in the chat.
Paul, my daughter's father-in-law.
Let's sing together. Ushmot Zeitenu Voenu L'chaim U'Shalom Me'ata v'ad olam Me'ata v'ad olam Me'ata v'ad olam Hashkirvenu Adonai Eloheinu LaShalom V'hamirdeinu Malkeinu L'chaim Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Me'ata v'ad olam Me'ata v'ad olam Me'ata v'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'akol yoshvei tevel. We praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and all who dwell on earth. Let those who need it rise up to life renewed. There's something so funny still about being online. In my head, I want to say, please rise for the Amidah. And you are very welcome to rise for the Amidah if you want to do so. And I just wanted to take this moment to remind you that sometimes the prayer that we need to say isn't always the liturgy that's on the screen in front of us. And so as we work our way through the Amidah, if your thoughts are going elsewhere, you can go with them. I give you permission. It doesn't mean that you're not doing a good enough job of listening and paying attention, but sometimes it's in these moments that we have of quietness and of seeking something bigger than ourselves that our brain, our minds take us where they need to go. So let's sing the opening line of the Amidah together. Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 Safetai Tiftach. Ya la 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 Safetai Tiftach. Ya la 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 Safetai Tiftach. Ya la 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ve'emoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Koneh Hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיח. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומרדו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, שבענו מטובך, ושמחנו בשועתך, ותהה לבנו לעובדך באמת, וחנכלנו אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בך ישראל, מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. רצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך, ברוך אתה אדוני, שאותך לבדך ביראה נעבוד. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן ישענו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל נשיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובתך שבכל עת, ערב ובוקר וסוחריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, עושה השלום. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם. As I mentioned earlier, this week's parasha talks about the Ner Tamid. And I don't have a real drash to share with you. There's just this short passage which I felt particularly inspired by in the Erev Shabbat, which would someone be happy to read out for us?
I'm happy to.
Yes, please.
Tetzaveh, light. In every Jewish heart, a Ner Tamid, which is the light of God, should burn, not only in the synagogue during worship, but outside, in the marketplace, at work, in everyday life, and in our dealings with others.
Thank you. So when I saw this in the Siddur, I went to the back to look at the notes of where it had come from, thinking, I'm not really sure what I thought. But I didn't expect it to come from a 20th century chassid, because it feels so much like the spirit of liberal Judaism to me. And I suppose maybe I was expecting it to say from John Rayner, or written new for this Siddur, or something with one of the legends of liberal Judaism. But this, for me, is so beautiful and so powerful, that the idea that however we want to describe it, and I like using the language of a Ner Tamid, particularly because it's a fire that never goes out, and we need to find a way in order to make it sustainable, and make it so that it can never go out, and that's so deeply important, but that we have that in ourselves. Hi, Theo. And we look for it not only in worship, but in other places. And I had been looking at some of the leaflets that I have. Okay, but you have to be quiet, okay? You can say hello. Yeah, you say hello to everyone. Don't touch the buttons, Theo, otherwise you have to go away. No, it's fine. It's fine. I found in my small style, Theo, of papers, this, which it's difficult to read, is the Liberal Jewish Monthly. So the precursor to LJ Today, and it's the Golden Jubilee supplement commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Union of Liberal and Progressive Synagogues. And there's an extraordinary picture there of the service at the bottom, and there are quite a few throughout. And I think that this must have found its way to me from Rabbi Dr. Charles Middleborough, familiar to many of you, because I'm not sure how else I would have come across it. But next to it was also this, which is services from, it's a service for the centenary of liberal Judaism. And I found it quite extraordinary to look through both of these two documents, which are 50 years apart, telling the history of our religion and speaking with so much passion and hope and fire, which is really how I see this image of the Ner Tamid. Because although, of course, in our synagogues we have, can click a switch and an electric light bulb comes on. It's an image of fire, it's an image of passion. And they are really extraordinary documents looking into our history. And what's so interesting about them is that they also speak to the future. And so much so of hoping for a Judaism that continues to be to do what they had started to do. The centenary service ends with a prayer, and it's so funny because it's written in the same font as the De La Pradash, and it all feels so familiar to us. And it just says, "We give thanks for the liberal Judaism which we have inherited, which has brought so much to our lives, and for the contribution it has made to Judaism and the Jewish peoples over the last 100 years. We acknowledge with pride its integrity, vision, and creativity." It thanks its founders and this bit, the closing sentence, I find so beautiful. May the observance of our centenary deepen our commitment to our congregations and our movement, and reinvigorate the contribution which we know liberal Judaism is capable of making to the religious life of our people. And then it has an Amen in capital letters. And I love that. For me, the faith that I inherited was one that does this, that brings a Judaism not only into synagogue but into all of our relations and our dealings with others, both in our personal lives and in the marketplace at work. And I hope that my hope to you is that you can find some of the, it doesn't, not necessarily liberal Judaism, but the things and the people which light that fire in you, that you're passionate about, that remind you of what your duty is in the world, and what it feels as though you want to achieve, and that the pride that you have in where you've gotten to and looking towards the future. That's my hope, that the light can not only comfort but be a driving passion for you this Shabbat and going forwards. And so let's turn to the Aleinu. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו לחמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, השמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אל. One of the hostage which Mosaic Liberal Synagogue was paired with under the Board of Deputies scheme, Itzhak Elgarat, was one of the bodies returned to Israel last week. And thinking of him and his family and of all of the hostages remaining, those both dead and alive, I'll share this prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Ish leveto, isha leveta, kol yeled v'yalda lumatam b'tivcha, ka'an, sham, uvchol makom, Shabbat shalom. Every man to his house, every woman to her home, every child to their bed in safety, here, there, in every place. Shabbat shalom. As we come to say Kaddish as a community, we think particularly of Bella Gleek, the mother of Stephen, of Bernard Craven, the father of Linda Gray, of Betty Kingsley, the mother of Richard and the grandmother of Jonathan, of David Donald Beaton, the brother of Mary Soreen, of David Feldman, the father of Roger, of Dennis Millstone, the husband of Zella, of Edmund Goldstein, the husband of Yvonne, of Estelle Edward, the mother of Ken, of Ethel Marks, the mother of Carol Collins, of Fanny Redhouse, the mother of Zella Millstone, Jack Collett, the father of Jeff, Yancha Shuchapak, the uncle of Harrod Shupak, Joseph Aronson, the father of Ivan, Lena Conway, the mother of Stephen, Martha Einhorn, the mother of Eve Hart, Martin Tobe, the husband of Rosalie, Miriam Bria, the mother of Sam, Morris Wise, the father of David, Mos Danska, the father of Rosalie Tobe, Nathaniel Wand, the father of Greg and of Val Feinberg, Rosa Conn, the aunt of Mike Wynn, Samuel Woolport, the father of Jane Prentice, Sheila Marjorie Todd, the mother of Yvonne Goss, Yaakov Issaroff, the father of Martin, and in the liberal community of Regina Braun, the friend of Lindsay and Adrian Cohen, of Mark Cohen, the father of Shirley Ariel, Passy Gelman, the mother of Janine Spencer, of Bella, the grandmother of Michelle Gersh, of Rosalind Hart, the first wife of Paul, of Bernard Himmelfarth, the father of Linda Place, of Michelle Latchman, the mother of Celia Hipgrave, of Valerie Lesser, the mother of Anthony, of Gershon Mayer, the father of Esther Bamforth, Pearlie Sanderson, the grandmother of Stephen and Wendy O'Donnell, and the great-grandmother of Hannah and Miriam, and Peter Steiner, the husband of Anne. If there's anyone else that you're thinking of as we come to say Kaddish, please feel free to share their names out loud in the chat or hold them in your heart. And we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ba'alma divrachu itei ve'amlich machutei, b'chayachon yivyomachon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiram ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nai Adam ve'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei Adam. I don't believe that Kevin's here, which means that Roz, does that make you de facto announcement maker?
It does. I am indeed Kevin again tomorrow. So I think next Friday is Shabbat Beitenu. Rabbi Andrew Goldstein is taking the service tomorrow. These are in no particular order. These are just throwing forth out of my head as fast as I think of them. I don't know what else is happening. I mean, there's always loads of stuff happening, and our excellent website has it all.
There's the Purim service.
Purim, so thank you, Linda.
Okay,
Feel free,
lovely.
anyone else to
Our
throw
Purim
anything.
service is at 6:30 on Thursday night. Please come in fancy dress. And I do feel obligated to add, as someone who does not like fancy dress, but is, professionally obligated to do it, you don't have to come dressed up if you don't wish. We will have a service and a Megillah reading, and then come together as a whole community.
Yeah, I think there's Masorti having a service, and there's a
Yes.
joint Reform and Liberal one, isn't there?
Yes.
And then it's all together after that for
All together afterwards
pressing and
for
drinking.
food and drink, and our wonderful resident jazz musicians, who you may have heard if you came to our Hanukkah celebrations, will be coming to play for us as well. And so in the spirit really of Purim, and because of the theme of light, we are going to end with this song, Purim. You can tell everyone afterwards about Esther and Haman, which, since he came back from nursery today, he has just been going, Queen Esther, Queen Esther. We're going to end with a song which comes, it's a line from the Book of Esther.
Mordechai.
Yeah, and Mordechai, and our Havdalah liturgy. The translation is: the Jews enjoyed light and gladness, happiness and honor. Grant us these same miracles. La Yehudim Haita Ora, Haita Ora, V'simcha v'sason v'ikar. La Yehudim Haita Ora, Haita Ora, V'simcha v'sason v'ikar. Ken tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu. Ken tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu. La Yehudim Haita Ora, Haita Ora, V'simcha v'sason v'ikar. La Yehudim Haita Ora, Haita Ora, V'simcha v'sason v'ikar. Ken tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu. Ken tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu, tihyeh lanu. Yeah, Jasmine. I'm not sure why you were singing Jasmine, but it's very nice.
That's what you heard when you said jazz band.
I sing at Grab
Like you sing at synagogue. So for anyone who has the various paraphernalia to make Kiddush, let's do that now. We have to say the blessing first, don't we? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
I have first.
Well, it's actually is wine, so can Mummy have it first?
Let's see. And then
Mummy, and then Theo, and then Dad.
Theo first.
Theo, can you take the challah cloth off? Can you show everyone the challah? Can you take the cloth off? And can you hold the challah up to the camera?
Everyone can see metrics on the screen. Hold up.
Oh, really
metrics on the
high,
screen.
really high. Oh, look, and you can see Danielle's colour as well. And we say, you know this blessing because we've been practicing a lot this week. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
I'll drink some wine.
There you go. You can have your wine and your challah. We say Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Yeah, and a great piece today.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So I was late. I just made it for the kiddish. Typical me, but
It's nice to see you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kevin, I had to do the announcements and I was so
Oh.
all over the place.
You came in about 30 seconds too late, Kevin.
yeah, you do a better job. So long as there's no bad jokes, you do better than me.
Now, I'm useless at telling jokes. I can promise you that.
So am I, but I don't give up. That's the difference. Oh, hi, Theo and Josh. Lovely to see you. Sorry, I'm really glad.